Hey Metalheads, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to check out a brand new band that was recommended to me and some of the comments from some previous videos that I've done. So this band is called LOVEBITES. They are a Japanese heavy metal band that formed in 2016. Don't know anything about them, don't know much about them. Checking this band out. So they've been around since like 2016, so they've been around a while. Their influences are very much kind of a new wave of heavy British metal. Iron Maiden seems to be one of their biggest influences. And so I'm going to check out the song Holy War, which was live in Tokyo. And this, I think, was done in 2020. So I'm going to check out the band LOVEBITES, the song Holy War here. Don't know what to expect, but we're just going to see what it's all about. Okay. It started out kind of a real good melodic, almost kind of power metal a little bit. And I was thinking like, okay, pretty cool. Gonna probably be some power metal here. And then the rest of the band came in and it went to a totally more thrash metal sound. Definitely a different tempo change and even different melody change there that just did not expect that right off the bat. But hey, that's how this song is starting. I love it. Yeah, definitely can hear a lot of thrash influence there. Very fast guitars. One of the guitars even doing some of that guitar tapping, which is just always really cool to see, and can tell that they are definitely influenced by some of those classic thrash, classic heavy metal bands that kind of have that going on. Vocals is great, very good range. I mean, a higher range and octave than probably most in heavy metal. Of course, being a female lead vocalist probably can hit different notes than some other people. Now, I'm kind of checking out the bass player a little bit, and I saw a quick shot, and I think she is actually like finger plucking the bass, which kudos to her. That is amazing to be able to do that on the bass guitar. And you know, when it comes to playing bass, some play with a pick, some do the finger picking instead, and no way is better than the others. I just think that the finger picking is a lot more complex to do than a pick. Of course, as a guitarist, I'm just used to playing with a pick, and to me that's natural. That feels natural and comfortable. I know Cliff Burton was famous for not using a pick to play the bass, and of course he was one of the original bassists for Metallica, and really was a part during their early thrash metal days, and especially on Master of Puppets. The way he played the bass for that album was incredible. So I see her kind of also doing that as well, which again to me is just very impressive and fun to watch. Oh, damn. Wow. Some bass tapping. Oh man, that riff. Oh, so that little fill riff there, after the chorus into the next verse. Oh, that was just so heavy. That was a heavy riff there, and you hear that double bass drumming going on, and just the good chugging of the guitars on there. That classic thrash sound is just amazing. It's why thrash metal is probably one of my favorite subgenres of heavy metal. It's just there's so much going on in thrash metal with the sounds and that low end, that really kind of made a foundation for a bunch of other subgenres to kind of break out from. I love that voice. Those notes she is hitting are beautiful and just really good contrast to that low end that the bass and the guitars and the drums are holding up, and her range, really high octaves hitting. Amazing vocalist. She's got a great voice. Love it. Okay. A nice little breakdown. Man, he held that note. Okay, yeah, the crowd. Yeah. Oh, the crowd is definitely into this. Oh, yeah. Okay. Nice. So both guitarists are getting a lead solo, which I love to see that when you have two guitarists, each one kind of showing off their solo skills, which to me is just amazing. A lot of bands with two guitars sometimes do that. Sometimes bands with two guitars, you have one that just does that rhythm and you have one that does the lead solo. And then you have some bands that both guitarists will have a lead solo doing kind of one-offs on each other. And I love to see that when two guitarists are kind of both doing lead solos, because you get each one kind of does a little bit different. A lead guitarist kind of has their own signature style of when playing their leads and solos. Sometimes it's real subtle and you can't hear it until other times you can totally tell, like, hey, that's a Kirk Hammett lead solo, or that was a Dimebag Darrell lead solo there. So I like when a band has the two guitarists and each one can do their own signature, kind of, put their own spin, put their own touch on the song for themselves. Oh, it's amazing. Okay, I love that. Oh, bit of a bass line there. Yeah. Good rhythm going on with that. Oh, nice. Okay, so that was the band LOVEBITES with the song Holy War, live in Tokyo. Looks like that was done in 2020, and not too sure how big of a crowd it was, but it looks like they were in a pretty decent venue. It looked like they even had a catwalk kind of going down the middle, which I'm sure the vocalist probably uses that to interact with the crowd. Now, initial reactions to this is it was good. I just loved that the main riff. It was so thrashy, and it was such a low, like in a low pitch with the bass and everything, and then the contrast with the vocalist Asami, like, was beautiful. Her vocals were awesome and definitely fit with what they were playing. Like, she sang, and she has a range. She has an octave range for sure, and no growling or grunting coming from her at all. The musical influences, you can hear them in that song. You can definitely hear a lot of thrash metal influences in that. I'm like, just the fastness of it. Some power metal in there too, because power metal is known for having a lot of speed in their riffs. And even lyrical wise, some of the lyrics in there, like sing hallelujah, march praise, marching into hell, a lot of those lyrics that she was singing sounded very power metalish, where, you know, they're very kind of songs about heroism and epicness, battles, fighting, winning, you know, fighting for something. That's kind of a lot of themes, lyrical themes in power metal, very fantasy driven, very epic driven themes regarding the lyrics for power metal, and some of those lyrics were kind of reminiscent of that. So you kind of have like thrash metal musical influences, the new wave of British heavy metal, and power metal, and a lot of those three are really kind of considered some foundational subgenres of heavy metal. They were kind of really laying that groundwork to where all these other subgenres have kind of sprung from. If you didn't have the new wave of British heavy metal, thrash metal wouldn't have came, power metal wouldn't have came, and then from there, you know, you go into, of course, death metal, melodic death metal, gothic metal, symphonic metal. All of those kind of bleed off of those foundational subgenres. So I love to hear new bands playing those kind of classic styles still in there. This fast, thrashy sound, just really awesome. The guitarists, Midori and Miyako, amazing guitarists, and like I mentioned in the song, they both have a little bit of solo time, which is awesome. I noticed they both do a lot of tapping, and that's really cool. I love to see that they both were doing it. And then at the end of the bridge and the solos, they both were kind of doing a solo that was harmonizing with each other, and it sounded really good. Amazing guitarists that you can definitely tell they've loved classic heavy metal, and that's what their writing style is based off of. Playing that old classic thrash metal, which is just okay in my book. The bass player even had a little bit of a solo bass line. I saw that, and like I mentioned, she was doing the finger plucking instead of using a pick, which, you know, some heavy metal bands do that, some use a pick. It's just whatever the bassist is comfortable doing. I have really no strong opinion on which I think is better or not. They both work, and whatever that bassist feels is the best way that they can perform and do their art, more power to them. I just happen to like when I see the finger. I enjoy watching it. I think it's fun to watch at a live show and just see like, wow, they're really, you know, moving their fingers really fast on that, especially on a thrashy song like this. Like, you know, it's, you gotta keep up with that tempo. Drummer, oh, constant blast beat going on, hitting that crash cymbal there. She made it look effortless. Like, she looked like she was just sitting there and just her arms and legs were the only things moving. Like, the rest of her body was still, but you can tell she was totally getting in to the song and playing those drums. Amazing. These ladies are very talented ladies. So I gotta ask the question, like, what is going on in Japan? Like, this is maybe the second or third Japanese band, and even more, kind of like narrowing it down, all female Japanese heavy metal band that I've discovered on. I'm like, what is going on in Japan over here? What are these people studying? What are these ladies studying as far as music? And what else is going on? Because, of course, Bandmade, you know, I've done a couple of videos of them and they've blown me away every time I watched them. These ladies here, Lovebites, totally blew me away with their style and with their writing. And so it's like, what's happening? What am I missing out? Let me know in the comments. What am I missing out over in Japan and the Far East out there? Definitely a country that I love and enjoy reading and learning its history about, but it sounds like there's a lot of musical history going on there too that I might be missing out on. So what other Japanese bands do you recommend there for me to check out? And also Lovebites, what other songs by Lovebites do y'all enjoy? Have you seen them live? What are your thoughts on their live performances? If you've seen them live, let me know in the comments below what you thought of their live performance. That looked really good. Definitely looked like the crowd was into it. The lead singer can definitely engage with the crowd. I saw her kind of engaging, especially at the beginning. And so that, you know, it's another skill. You want to be able to engage with your crowd and be able to pull them in to the show to make them feel like they're part of the show. Because that, to me as a fan, when I go to a show, I want to feel like I'm part of it as well, whether I'm just, you know, either singing along or pounding my fist to the beat or something. You know, it makes me feel like I'm part of the performance and everything. So yeah, let me know if you've seen Lovebites live. What do you think? If you're a first-time headbanger to the channel, thank you for coming and supporting. Please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that cowbell to be notified of when new videos drop. And as always, keep it loud and keep it metal. Be blessed, everyone.